everybody, Dr. Brian Damhoff, Elite Performance Institute. Today we're going to put you guys through a strength session. You'll have to bear with me. My first time ever doing a Facebook Live here, so I'm hoping I can read your comments as we go here. So if you guys have questions, comments, concerns, exercises that you want to know a little bit more about, you can go ahead and just post that into the comments and we'll get to it. But we got a little bit of everything to do today. We got some glutes, we got some core. I want to make sure that you guys are doing it right so you can kind of follow along with home. It's going to be a tough day of exercise for sure, but for runners, this type of work is especially important. I think that a lot of runners are scared of doing strength work. They don't know where to start. They don't know what the right or the wrong thing to do is, and you certainly have to pay attention to what you're doing, and there's differences. One of the big things is you're going to notice today that for everything we do with repetitions, we're going to do under 10 repetitions. I think that's a really important thing. If you look at the research, if you're doing 3 sets of 15, then it's not going to decrease the risk of injuries. It's not going to make you more efficient as a runner. It's not going to do all these things that accentuate your running, which is what we're looking to do. So you guys can kind of follow along at home. The first thing that we're going to start with today is a single leg squat. And at home, you might have a couch. I got a little bench here. So if you got a couch, that'll work perfect. I have some weights with me here. I've got a 45-pound kettlebell, a 10-pound kettlebell. At home, you might not have any weight. That's fine. You could use a kid. You could use a water jug, but single leg squats are very tough as it is. But before we do that, I want to make sure that we do a little something to warm up, and then I'll show you that. So my number one thing I like to do, I always like to get my running watch going for strength training even, is for a warm-up, I just pretend like I'm jump roping. So I'm going to be careful I don't hit my leg here, but I just kind of do a fake jump rope even without a jump rope, just about 30 seconds here, and just pretend like I'm jump roping. So you do it at home. It looks super goofy, I know, but it's something that gets that heart rate going, gets our body to work, ready to work, that is, and just a super easy exercise to do. So I usually do 30 seconds to a minute of the jump rope here to kind of get everything going. And then once I've done that, then I'm ready to go right to the strength work. So the big thing on these single leg squats, I see a lot of people doing them wrong. So I'm just going to kind of show you what I'm looking for in that exercise here. So I want to make sure that that back foot is like this and not like this. A lot of people put their foot up like this. You want to keep it nice and flat that whole time. I'm going to bring that front leg out far enough here, and then I'm going to keep chest tall that whole time, come down, touch the floor, back up. I'm going to use a 45-pound kettlebell. I'm going to do 6 reps on either side, and I'm going to get started right here with the single leg squat. So put the weight here, I just hold it there, come out far enough, and I'm going to do 6 reps here. That's 6, and then I'll switch legs. Same thing. And 6 reps as well. Now the big thing is you want to time your recovery on exercises. Since we're going heavier, we want to give ourselves 2 to 3 minute recovery. So I usually, it depends what's going on, what exercise I'm doing, but somewhere between that 2 to 3 minutes. For this one, it's a tough exercise. Even if you didn't use weight, it's a tough exercise. And I'm going to show you on this second set a variation that you could do if you don't have weight at home. Because some people don't have that luxury of having some of the home equipment. And you can see here in my setup, I don't really have a full gym or anything like that. It's pretty simple. So I think most people have things like this at home, and if not, you can improvise. You can use the couch, you can use a little weight, nothing super complicated. You can always find tools to get the job done. You go in the garage, do it wherever you want. So we're at 1 minute recovery here. I'm going to give us a 2 minute rest. And on the second set, I'm going to just show a different variation that you can do at home, one that will make it tougher. And what we'll do instead of, just saying I didn't have weight, I got the 10-pound kettlebell. This could just be a gallon of milk. What I'll do, rather than doing how I did it before, is I'm going to explode from the bottom to go up a lot faster than when I went down. So it's going to work those glutes in there. Single leg squats are one of the best exercises that there is for runners, that's for sure. And you know, running is very much so a single leg stability exercise. So you'll see that a lot of things that we target are going to be single leg. You know, it's not to say that squats aren't a bad exercise, but the single leg squats are a lot better for runners. It's something that applies more directly to running, that's for sure. So about 10 seconds here. We'll get into the second set. So on this one, again, I'm going to show you guys a variation that if you don't have a 45-pound weight at home, if you got like a milk jug or something like that, what you can do. Same thing here. I'm going to come here. I'm going to bring that leg out. I'm going to go down. But when I come up, I'm going to explode. You can almost jump off that ground. Same thing. I'm going to do the 6 reps here. If you have knee issues, this one's probably not a good one for you. Now I'm going to switch legs. Same thing. Again, that back foot nice and flat, chest tall the whole time. And the one thing I'm always trying to do is that front leg. That's the one that keeps all the weight. I'm checking my timer here. Gonna give us another 2-minute recovery. But I can definitely feel that heart rate getting up right away. Single leg squats are always a great exercise for that. And one that I think just directly applies to runners for sure. I'm not real good at this Facebook Live stuff here, but let me see if I have any comments or anything like that. It might be at the end that I'll have to figure out how to do that, to be able to look at the comments on there, but hopefully you guys are able to see everything good here and can hear me okay, everything like that. This last set, I'm gonna go back to what I did on the first one. I'm gonna go back with the 45-pound kettlebell. Get nice and low. These ones, you'll definitely feel it in your legs. You get a lot of posterior chain, just a lot of everything, you know, similar to running. I always think that a lot of times the day after, I feel like I did when I did a tough workout running. And that's kind of what we're looking for, you know, is to get everything firing in there. So on this last set again, I'm going to go back to this 45-pound kettlebell. Now I'm not going to do that explosive one, but if you have the low weight at home, that can be what you do, is they do that explosive one where you explode off the ground. And you might find too that one side's easier than the other. I think that a lot of people have unilateral deficits where they find out one side's weaker than the other, and if it is, that's something that we definitely want to address and take care of, you know. So this last set here, same thing again, chest nice and tall. Let that front leg do all the work. We don't want to be pushing off that back leg. We want to be leaning forward with that chest. We're going to keep really good form, especially as we get fatigued here. So here's this last set for us. Again, I'm going to be doing 6 reps here on it. Yeah, there's those 6 reps. Make sure I got the time here. Always making sure that I'm giving myself enough recovery. I think people often make the mistake of not giving themselves enough recovery and just bam, bam, bam through it. But we want to lift heavy. I think that's a big key. A lot of distance runners will think in their head that if they lift heavy, they're going to get bulky, almost like bodybuilders. But that's not going to happen. You know, you look at some of the elites out there, and they're lifting weights 4 or 5 days a week and accessorizing their running with that, and they're not bulking up. You know, so we're putting on the mileage, we're getting strong. You know, we're doing things, but you have to get strong in order for you to have that injury prevention, to make you more efficient, everything like that. All those things that we talk about. So it's very key that you give yourself enough recovery. I find that most people don't give themselves enough recovery, and then they just bam, 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 and you're beating your body up. Then you end up in my office, and we become good friends, you know. The next exercise that we're going to do is going to be a single leg RDL. And this one, the advantage is I can show you, since we're doing 3 sets again, different angles. And I'm going to use the 45 for it. It's going to take a lot of stability, and it's going to work that posterior chain, so those glutes and hamstrings really well through there. What I'm going to make sure that I'm doing on this one, I'm going to hold the weight. Honestly, it doesn't matter what hand you hold it in. You can hold it in either weight. If you don't have a weight, that's fine as well, but definitely a weight will help with this one. I'm going to bring this foot up in the air. I'm going to go back here. I'm going to go down, and then I'm going to come back up. I'm trying to stand that leg. I'm trying to hit that angle. I don't want to be here. I want to keep everything 90, 90, 90 through here, and then just bring that leg back. This leg will have a little bend in it. So again, I'll just show you from this angle here. It's going to have a little bend in it, okay? It depends kind of what you got for flexibility back there. We don't want to do anything like pulling the hamstring or anything like that. So we're here at this 2-minute recovery. I'm going to use this 45 for this first set. I'm going to show you here from the side so you can see it. I'm going to do 6 reps on either leg here. And so you guys can probably see that one takes a lot of stability. It may have been tough for you to keep your balance. Totally fine. And so you always find that that second side is a little harder than the first side. Your stability muscles get a little tired, everything like that. But you know, again, not to beat a dead horse, but running is very much so a single leg stability exercise. So a lot of the weight room stuff that I'm going to be doing is going to be that. And again, if you don't have a weight, you know, use a milk jug, use whatever you can. We don't want to be doing 20, 30 repetitions. I think at this point in time, most people have weights at home, which is always a nice thing. And you know, you can put those to use for sure. But this exercise with those single leg squats, it's perfect. You know, you're probably feeling it in those legs already. I know I am. Sweating a little. It's a beautiful day, which is awesome. Can definitely get used to this weather. And then the big thing I got talked about is giving yourself recovery. You got to have those 2 to 3 minutes. If not, then you can't get as good of quality of work in. I always think it's like doing a workout, you know, and if I'm out there doing something like cruise intervals or something like that, I'm not going to just hop into the next rep right away because the quality of the workout goes way down. You can't get that higher threshold, which is, you know, what we're trying to do when we're in here is work really hard, work as hard as we can, but not overwork. And overworking can definitely occur when you're just going one exercise to the next exercise, your form goes down, you're more likely to sustain an injury. I'm all about quality over quantity. So even though I'm doing 6 to 8 reps on a lot of things, for some of you, maybe the way the weights work out, you only do 4 reps or something like that. So you got about 30 seconds here, and then we'll do this second set. Some things I give 3-minute recovery between. When I'm at my office, I have access to more weights. So I'll be doing things like deadlifts and things like that. Those are exercises I give 3 minutes on. These ones are not as taxing, I would say, but still taxing, so I go with the 2-minute recovery. On this one, I'm going to give you guys the front view here so you can just kind of see it. And we're ready to go here. So again, that same thing. So 6 reps on that side. This side will definitely be harder. to 6 reps. I check the time, see where I'm at. Make sure again that I'm giving myself those 2 to 3 minutes here. Gonna get my breath. Good time to drink some water, especially if you're working hard. One more set on this, and then we're gonna move into some more stuff, some band work, some core work, all the essentials here. This workout's gonna take us maybe about a half hour total, maybe just a little bit less. And one thing that people ask me, they'll say, how often should you be doing that kind of stuff? 2 to 3 times a week is what we would look at. I always think hard days hard, light days light. So when you do have a hard workout, when you're doing race pace stuff, tempo stuff, that's where we want to be doing the weight room stuff. You don't want to do it before you run. You definitely want to do it after. You don't want it to affect yourself in a negative manner. I think that everybody's different in their training cycles. Right now with not much racing going on, some of you guys might be just doing mileage. And if you're just doing mileage, then there's not really one day that's better than another or anything like that. Just be smart about it. I think that's the biggest thing, is being smart about everything. I think a lot of people just train to train, but there's definitely a method to the madness. Like I talked about in that research, if you're doing the 3 sets of 20, then you're not getting the gains. You're not going to get the additional benefits that you are if you're doing more of the lower rep, higher weight stuff. And I'm always a guy that likes that research, so if I see something like that, then I'm definitely going to stick to it, and that's what I'm going to preach in my practice, and definitely something that you guys should be doing as well. We're coming up here, we got about 20 seconds to our third and final set here on these single leg RDLs. Okay, we're gonna go on this last set. I'll go back to the side view here for you. And then, again, you can switch arms if you want, totally up to you. Whatever works best for you. On the other side here, 6 more reps. So those were a lot of fun. I'm gonna check the time, make sure I get myself that 2-minute recovery. The next thing that we're going to go into is one of my favorite exercises. It's the isometric clamshell. For this one, you're going to need a band. Hopefully everybody's got a band at home. The one that I use is 10 inches. Most of them that you're going to see at gyms and different things like that, they're going to be 12 inches. The reason I use the 10-inch one is simply so you can do the exercise better. On those clamshells, I see a lot of errors, and most of them have to do with the people bringing the leg up too high and the hip rotating, which I'll show you guys a little better before we do the exercise when I get down here on the ground. But what we're going to aim to do is 2 1-minute rounds. For some of you, that might be too much work for that glute. You might only be able to do the 1-minute round, which is totally fine. So if you're somebody who's a little weaker in this glute med, and you feel like this exercise is a little too much, you can do one of 2 things. You can either do less time, so you could do one set of 30 seconds and then come back and try to do another 30 seconds, or what you could do is just do some regular clamshells, which I'll show as well, and that's something we're going to do at the end of the workout as well, some more clamshells, because we really want to get those glutes firing in there. I think this is one of my favorite exercises in the clinic, just because it's very hard to do wrong, which I like. I don't like to give exercises that people can do wrong. So I'm going to use this yoga mat here, and then what I'm going to do with that band is I'm going to go ahead and put it around my knees. I'm going to put both feet through the middle and come right here. It's advantageous to wear pants when you do this, because otherwise you end up pulling a lot of leg hair, and I definitely think that isometric clamshells have made me lose a lot of leg hair through there. So if you got the shorts on, then you'll notice that it probably pulls. It might hurt a little bit. So A pro tip is to always wear pants when you're going to do those isometric clamshells. To set it up, I'm going to be here in this position. I'm going to make sure my knees are up high enough. A lot of people start with their knees down here. If you do that, you might end up feeling it in the IT band or the hamstring, somewhere we're not. We're trying to feel it right here in the glute. So I'm going to be here with feet. Don't keep them out here. Keep them tucked behind the butt. When I bring this foot or this knee up in the air, I want to make sure there's no rotation on that hip. So I tell people just hold your hand here. I'm going to check the time here. I'm going to start here. And we're going to start here. And 3, 2, 1, and up. And from here, I'm just going to hold. We're going to hold for a full minute. I'm making sure I'm not rotating at all here. I always tell people this is where you got to kind of go to your happy place and think happy thoughts. Think about anything other than the glute firing. The second side's always harder on this one because this bottom hip is acting to stabilize as well. By now, you should start to feel it just a little bit. You know, I'm not feeling it too much. I do these all the time, so I try to get really, really strong glutes. If you feel that it doesn't work anything at all, it might be that your band is too light. Sometimes if you have lighter bands, you can just double them up. But, you know, whatever it takes at home to make sure that you're feeling it in that glute. Sometimes people don't start feeling it to the second set. I'm starting to feel it a little bit right now in this left one, which is good. Got about 10 seconds here. 3, 2, 1, and relax. And then what I'm going to do is just flip hips. I don't give myself a whole lot of recovery here since we're going right to the other side. And we'll go up here. And 3, 2, 1, and up. And again, I'm paying attention to my position. I'm making sure my knees are up high enough. I'm making sure that my feet are tucked in. I don't want to have them out. I want to make sure I'm feeling it right here. And I'm feeling it right away. I find that my right glute is one that doesn't engage as well as my left. A lot of times when I go on my longer runs, I start to feel like the glute isn't engaging. And then I start getting some issues down my leg, whether it's my knee, ankle, hip, anything like that. So again, this is why this exercise is so great. We're halfway here. Hopefully you guys are able to follow along at home here and you're feeling the glute burn. It's definitely one of my favorite times of the day, is feeling that glute engage and fire. Got 15 seconds here. The tough part is if you watch your watch, it makes that minute go a lot longer. But you should definitely be feeling it pretty good in that glute. 3, 2, 1, and relax. And then I'm going to go back to that other side. We're going to do that second round. Again, if that second round is too much for you, you could just do some regular up and down, or you could try to just hold for 30 seconds. We're going to go up here in 3, 2, 1, and up. And again, pay attention to that form. You keep that hand there. You want to make sure that this hip isn't rotating. A lot of people, when they start to fatigue, are going to automatically cheat. And then you're going to end up not working the correct muscle. You'll feel it somewhere else. If you're not feeling it in that glute, then you're probably not doing the exercise correct. If you go on my YouTube page, I got a ton of videos of different exercises on there. One of those is the isometric clamshell. So pretty much every exercise I've shown you is on that YouTube channel, so you can reference it later if this is something that you think is for you, you know. But that's for everybody. I think everybody's a little different, and things work differently for some people. If you have knee pain, today probably isn't your day. You know, those single leg squats, the RDLs, it might cause a little discomfort for you. You got 10 seconds here on this side. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Now we'll go to this last side. This side will be the hardest side out of all of them for this last one here. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and up. And again, making sure that there's no rotation occurring at that hip. Make sure you're picking that knee up. Some of you are going to be way down here. We want to keep that knee up. If you need more of a challenge, you can even flutter a little bit here. That will definitely make that glute engage. You'll feel it start to fire right away. I know I'm feeling it pretty good in my glutes. All this free time I've had, I've been walking a lot of miles. I've been walking about 10 miles a day, and it's been tough. I've been feeling it in my legs some, which is good though. I love it. Hopefully you guys have been active and exercising and working out as well. Got about 15 seconds here. We're doing really good. Pick that knee up, make sure it's staying up. Make sure there's a gap in there. Three, two, one, and relax. Whew, that was super fun. We'll go ahead and take that band off for now. We're going to come back to that band. If you need some water, it'd be a good time to grab a quick sip of water before we go on to the next exercise here. The next one that we're going to do, take a look at my list here, is we're going to go on to a dead bug, and there's a lot of different variations on these dead bugs. If you guys have seen some of my videos, you've seen some of those already. The one that I'm going to be showing here, I'm going to use this 10-pound weight. So it's just this kettlebell. For some of you, if you have shoulder issues, you might not want to use a weight on this one. You could use a milk jug, a gallon of water, anything like that, whatever you have. If you have the shoulder issues, I have a lot of different variations. I don't want to get into all of them today for this video, but that's something you can kind of seek out on YouTube on your own, or send me a message and I'll get back to you guys. Again, if you guys got questions, post them. I'll get to them when I'm able after the presentation here. But for this one, what I'm going to do, I'll move the weight out of the way for now, is I'm going to be here flat on my back. The whole time I do this exercise, I'm going to keep my back really pushed into the ground. That's the key. If you're not pushing your back into the ground, then you're not going to hardly feel anything. So back is really pushed into the ground. I'm going to push my core out. It's going to lock everything in. I'm going to make sure my legs are equal distance apart. A lot of times people are going to bring their feet in. I'm going to make sure equal distance here, equal distance here. I'm going to make sure 90, 90, 90. I don't want to be up there. I don't want to be down there. What I'm going to do with the weight is I'm going to bring it over top my head, and then I'm just going to go back and forth here with that weight, and I'm going to feel this working in my core. But again, keep this back super pressed in here. So we're going to do a minute. So 3, 2, 1, and go. Halfway, make sure the back stays pushed in. Three, 2, 1, and relax. Good job. Yeah, you probably found if you kept that back pushed in, you felt it a lot more. If you didn't keep that back pushed in, you probably didn't feel anything. I think if you keep that back pushed in, you push that core out, you start shaking a little bit, almost like you've been holding a plank for a long time. And that's when you know you really got that core firing in there. So what we're going to do next is another one of my most favorite exercises. We're going to go back to those glute. We're going to go back to the band here. I'm going to show you guys some of the moves here, but I'm going to go ahead and just get this out of the way for now. Give yourself a little breather, get some water. And then we'll put this band on, and what we're going to do is some different things with it, but it's going to target those glute meads again, and you're going to feel that burn just like you did on those isometric clamshell. We're going to make the most of the space that we got. Even if you don't have a lot of space, this one will be a good one. But again, I'm going to put this one on around the knees and feet through the middle. If you feel like it irritates your knee at all when you're doing this, you can put it slightly above or slightly below. There's a lot of variation as far as that one is concerned for different people. And this one, you're going to want a heavier resistance band. If you got a really light resistance band, you might even put one around knees and ankles. It just kind of depends on the person here. And maybe I'll give $1 to everybody if they count how many times I hit this thing here. Gotta get a taller ceiling. But what we're gonna do from here, I'm gonna show you guys from the side because there's a couple of distinctions. is I'm gonna keep an equal distance between the knees and the ankles, and then what I'm gonna do, just sit my butt back a little bit. I'm not sitting like I'm going in a squat position or anything like that, but I wanna make sure that when I do it, I don't do this, which is what a lot of people do. They bring those knees way forward. I'm just sitting that butt back just a little bit here. Chest stays tall. Again, a lot of times people have this tendency to go way forward like this. So I'm gonna start here in this position, and then what I'm gonna do is make sure that my hips stay level that whole time. I don't wanna be picking them up as we're doing the exercise here. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start off by just marching in place. And then once I kind of get that rhythm here, I always think you're almost kind of like dancing here. I'm not very good at dancing, but I'm pretty good at getting the glute to fire here. You're gonna start going forward, and then once you go forward for a little bit, then I'm gonna tell you to go backwards. And it kind of depends on the space that you have here. I don't feel much in the glute yet, but I know I'm going to, and then I'm gonna go back forwards again. And then what I'm gonna have you do is go to the left. You're gonna take as big of steps as you can every time. And then once you run out of real estate, come back to that right. And we're gonna go back and forth here. Try to keep those hips level. We wanna keep some tension on that band the whole time. Make sure those knees are an equal distance apart as the ankles are, that they're not coming back in. I'm gonna go back to the middle here, and then I'm gonna go back to that marching. I'm gonna start going forward. Now you should definitely be feeling it in that glute. Again, it depends on your resistance band for sure. If you got those lighter ones, I like the 2 bands with the same motion here. And then I'm gonna go back to forwards, and then I can even rotate in a circle. Sounds goofy. I'm gonna use these dance moves in the club the next time I go there, that's for sure. But definitely should be feeling it in those glutes now. And then I kind of just like to burn it out where I go forward and just slow. I keep those revolutions up. I'm really starting to feel it in that glute. Hopefully you guys are feeling it there too. And I'm gonna go backwards one more time here. And that was some good work. Definitely felt that glute working. I think that if you do it correctly, you'll find that that one really gets those glutes firing in there for sure. Definitely a tough one. And then from here, we got just a couple more things. We're in the home stretch here. We're gonna go back to another core move, another dead bug. So I'm gonna put the yoga mat out for this one. This one, all you need is a wall. I call these the dead bug wall bicycles. It's gonna be very similar to the ones that we did before. You're gonna put your head real close to the wall, maybe like a hand away from it. And then again, the big key on it is back pushed in, core pushed out, lock everything in there. When you bring your legs out, that tendency is gonna be to arch your back. If you're somebody that arches your back a lot, then I might pick a different variation of dead bugs. Again, YouTube, I got a ton of videos on there. Tons and tons and tons. Definitely check that out. What I'm going to do from here is I'm going to put my hands on the wall. I'm going to make sure kind of 90, 90, 90, elbows in. Don't let your elbows go out. A lot of people put their elbows out. Legs are going to go up here. Again, that 90, 90, 90 position. And what I'm going to do is bring that leg out and then bring it back. And then I'm going to do the other one. And I'm going to make sure that that back, again, is staying pushed in. If that back is not pushed in, you might as well not do the exercise. So we're going to do this one for a minute here. So I'm going to put us on the clock here. 3, 2, 1, and let's go ahead. And I'm putting pressure into that wall with my arms, and then with bringing those legs out, I'm definitely feeling that core work really hard. Makes it hard for me to talk. So I'm going to shut up and do the exercise here. Ten seconds. 3, 2, 1, and relax. Nice job. Hopefully you felt that one. The harder you push in the wall, the more you're going to feel it in that core, that's for sure. But that's definitely one of my favorite ones again. So moving on from there, I guess I can leave this out. We got just a couple more moves to do. And what we're going to do on this next one, I'm going to turn it this way so you guys can see. And we're going to put that band back on. We're going to put it back around the knees. And we're going to put it on this one just slightly above the knee. That little distinction is going to be important, and you'll see why here in a second. So above that knee, and then on this one, what I really like to do is use this foam roller, because the foam roller has more purposes than just rolling. It's a great one for times when people go to pick their leg up, and they're going to swing their other hip out. So I'm going to be on all fours here, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to get close to that roller, and then when I bring that leg out, I just want to make sure I'm not kicking this hip this way. A lot of people are going to go that way, and they're going to cheat the exercise. So if you put that right there, then you can't cheat the exercise. If you don't have one of these, then you can go against the wall. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to do just 10 reps here. Again, we're trying to go, 5 reps, 6 reps, 8, 10, something like that, but don't want to do many more than 10. I'm going to do good quality. I'm going to bring it as high as I can every time on that. So I'm going to get started here on this one. So there's 10, and then I'm going to go to the other side, same thing. I'm going to put that there. Make sure that I don't bump up into it. Try not to, at least. Here's 10 reps on that one. I'm going to do one more thing with the band for the glutes. I'm going to go back to the clamshell, and on this one, instead of doing the static holds, I'm going to do up and down. I'm just going to do 10 good quality reps here to finish that the glute work off. Again, let's make sure we set it up right. Let's make sure our knees are up high enough. Our feet aren't out here. We're tucking them in. I'm going to put the hand right there to make sure I don't rotate at all. And then I'm going to do 10 repetitions here, really good quality. I always tell people it's like doing a bicep curl. When you get to the top, you squeeze and contract your bicep. We're trying to do the same thing with that glute. I want you to feel that glute fire with your hand. I want you to feel it every time when you get to the top, that glute is engaging, doing its job. Use that brain-body connection here. So good, and then we're going to flip sides. We're going to do the same thing, another 10. Or if you can't do 10, do 6. Do whatever you can. If you can do more than 10, then you probably need a heavier resistance band. Good. Yeah, I think resistance band, for its cost and the amount of space it takes up, is one of the best investments that you can make. I love kettlebells. I love the versatility of them. I love Swiss balls. I think those things make for really good home gym things. We got one more exercise to do, and this one is going to be for our calves. And we're going to do a couple different things. If you have a step, it's great. If you don't have a step, if you just have the floor, that's fine as well. But what I'm going to do, I don't have a step in here, but I just have a little stability pad. It's like one that you would do single leg ankle stability exercises on. But I'm going to use that just as a little step here. I'm going to put it this way to do these calf raises. I'm going to do them 3 different ways. I'm going to do them with toes pointed out, toes pointed middle, toes pointed in. I'm going to do 10 repetitions. If you need more of a challenge at home, one thing you can always do is put a kit on your back, or you can put a backpack on, anything like that. We don't want to be doing like 30 repetitions. You can do multiple sets, same thing. You can build it into the workout however you want. My calves are a little sore from all that walking that I've been doing, so I'm just going to do the 10 reps here. So I'm going to start with toes out on this, and just full repetitions. No hurry on them, nice and controlled the whole time. But just getting that full range of motion, or as much as I can. If you're on the floor, you just do the best you can with that range of motion. And then I'm going to do toes pointed in the middle, and then it's that same exact thing here. both toes pointed in, same type of thing. You might find that one of these is harder than one of the other ones. Kind of cool to see how you've always thought about doing it in one plane, but muscles have more than one plane to work. And when we run, we definitely work those muscles differently. The calves are one of the hardest working muscles when you run, and you see a lot of issues of Achilles tendonitis and different things like that. So definitely important to stay on top of that calf work as well. Good, so definitely felt that in there. So I hope you guys got a good workout in at home. One of the big keys after you get done running or working out is getting that nutrition. Make sure you're getting the right stuff. Make sure you're hydrating, all that good stuff. If you guys have those questions, go ahead and put those in, even if it's after the video ends here, and I'll get back to you guys. Or if you have any questions in general, you can always go on my website, elite-performance-institute.com. I'm working on a whole lot of things with this extra time. I'm working on a full strength work for runners course, so we'll have plans in there, all sorts of different stuff. If you guys like today, let me know. Maybe next week we could do another one of these, give you guys some different ideas on different things that you could do at home with limited equipment. I love doing this type of stuff. I could definitely do any sort of thing. So if you guys got questions, again, just reach out to me. Check out my YouTube channel, eliteperformanceinstitute.com. If you haven't already, subscribe on that YouTube channel. And then you can check out some of the videos that I got on there. I got playlists of glute, core, different things like that. So I hope you guys had a good workout. Hope you guys are all doing well. Keep up the good job exercising and working out. Look forward to hearing from you guys. Thank you guys very much.